Hey everyone, welcome to Storytowns. I'm Jared Pickford, and this is our podcast wine series. Our next podcast is Pierrepoint Winery, just outside of Hamilton near Tarrington. And this is Jennifer. She is lovely and her wine is beautiful, and so is her place. So when we open again after all this lockdown, I really suggest drop by and see Jennifer. Here's my lovely chat with Jennifer. I'm at Pierrepoint Winery, just outside of Hamilton. Would you say you're in Hamilton? I'm with Jennifer.
We actually call ourselves Tarrington because we're closer to Tarrington and there's a Pierrepoint street in Hamilton, so sometimes it's quite confusing for tourists.
Well, I was confused.
So we say Tarrington.
We're in Tarrington, so I'm in Tarrington at Pierrepoint Wineries. Jennifer, a lovely place you've got here. You moved here 22 years ago, and you started from scratch almost, I want to say?
Yes, there wasn't much here. Beautiful old homestead, Edwardian homestead that's dated about 1907. And the old farm shed that the cellar door's in, but the garden we've done virtually. There was 2 existing trees here, so the rest of it we pulled out. A lot of old natives falling apart. So yes,
you've done such a beautiful job. I just drove in your driveway. My colleague and I were very excited. Like, oh, this is a fancy, nice place. So thanks for having us today. What brought you to wine?
Well, originally it was vines, growing vines. I'm a passionate gardener, so we wanted to do something along those lines. We had experience in Israel pruning vines, and I suspect that might have planted a seed. Mm-hmm. And yes, we planted our vines 21 years ago. We had a joint 21st last year with our son Nick, whom I was very pregnant with when we were planting.
Wow.
And then the Pinot Gris the year after, and the Chardonnay a couple of years after that, consecutive years after that.
Now, and I've just realised, like, you're open most days, and you've got a cafe pretty much.
Yes, we are open most days, mainly because we live here, so it's quite easy to look after. We have the sign. We do change the signs if we have to go out. Family, we have a family that we need to give some attention to, so sometimes we do have to close. But yeah, generally most days, and we often put it up on social media and our website if we are closed.
Just tell me your website quickly.
www.pierrepointwines.com.au.
Right, let's go back to your wines. Now, tell me more about your wines. What are you growing here? What do people love? What's your favourite wine? Tell me all about the wine.
Okay, so we grow 3 varieties, as I mentioned. So Pinot Noir, which is a red, Pinot Gris and Chardonnay. And the Pinot Gris was a new kid on the block when we first planted it, and we followed a couple of experienced vignerons down south to actually put the vines in. And that's been sold pretty much right from the beginning. Casella Yellowtail Wines overseas bought it originally, so it's been in demand. But the fruit that's grown in the Henty region is really sought after now. It's most of the vineyards are actually selling all their fruit that they can grow. So yes, the Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay, they're Burgundian clones. So, well, not so much clones, but style, particularly, James Halliday loves those varieties. So yes, they're our most highly rated wines, the Pinot and the Chardonnay.
And you were saying before, like, your fruit's quite sought after right now. Is this like the best season you've had this year? Is that what you mean? Or is it just, like you said, it's this region, the fruit's quite sought after?
More the region, I think. I say to customers, every bottle of wine is a true reflection of what's happened in the vineyard over that 12 months. We had a very cloudy November, so there's not going to be a great fruit set, so there's not a huge quantity of fruit. So what will be there will be incredible quality.
Wow.
Because little fruit and the vines have struggled. So yeah,
it's so complicated. So you've won multiple awards, but you were telling me before about this award in Sydney. Can you take me through that again?
Yes, well, that was in the very early days. 2004 wine, our Pinot Noir, made here and sent up. Well, it was made very gently, so very basic equipment, you could say, no fining or filtering, made in old milk vats, very basic. So it won a medal for the best, or a trophy actually, for the best produced wine of the show. So yes, very successful, and it gave us a lot of confidence that we're growing fantastic fruit in the region. So yes, and most wineries have received fantastic reviews from the likes of James Halliday. So,
Can you, for people who don't know, can you tell us who James Halliday is? And that's me also.
He's one of Australia's most renowned wine reviewers. Okay. So he's based in Coldstream Hills and has run a very successful business, and which has grown astronomically now. He employs a team of wine reviewers. So he creates the Bible of wine reviewing, especially southern Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you get a mention from James, that's what you want.
Absolutely, yes.
And tell us about the experience that people have when they come here.
Well, it's a very relaxed atmosphere. It's very kid-friendly. We have a large lawn area outside the cellar door with lots of games. We have giant Jenga, three lots of giant Jenga.
Fantastic.
So they're wonderful outside. We actually love them outside, although they can be played inside, but they make an enormous racket when they actually tumble over. So
you need soundproof rooms for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a couple of other games that that are played on the lawn. So groups love coming here just to relax and have fun. Children run around, play ball and all that sort of thing. So
what's your inspiration with the gardening? Because you love gardening. You said is it? I want to say English, but am I right in saying it's more English garden?
Yes. Well, we have magnificent eucalypts around the farm. So the area, the native vegetation here are manigums. So we quite often have koalas come through. But the house is an Edwardian house, and I think it needs an English style garden close to the house. So yes, we've planted all the English trees around, and yes, some of them are going on 20 years. The oak trees we were just talking about the other day, they're becoming magnificent now. So yes,
it's lovely. I love that. I'm all about English gardens. So when I saw your garden, I think you've done an amazing job. So thank you for talking to me today, Jennifer.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you, Jennifer. That is Pierrepoint Wines. I'm Jared from Storytowns. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll let you know when new tours and podcasts are up and running. And I'll talk to you on the next podcast.